Hello, welcome to this new episode of Little Rascals, the pedagogical series created by Nick Walker of Ahuntsic College and myself that keep the pedagogical flames burning between Rascal sessions each year in June. So today I have the pleasure of interviewing Nick Walker himself, who will be talking of Ahuntsic College, who will be talking to us about the interactive career summaries tool that he's created. And this is a new feature in the VWT, the Virtual Writing Tutor, and he will be talking about the reading objectives that are included in the ministry program and also in his textbook that he'll be describing for 101, 102, the B block courses. He'll also be talking specifically, he'll show us how the career summary creator works. He'll show us examples from the Virtual Writing Tutor that give writing and speaking corrective feedback to students. So let me jump into the Zoom exchange with Nick. So I'll pass it on to my colleague, Frank. Thanks.
So welcome, Nick Walker. It's great to have you today. Now, Nick Walker is a ESL teacher at Ahuntsic College. He's a co-creator of the Little Rascals that we're doing right now. He's an author. He's published several textbooks, and he's going to talk about one of them today. And he's also going to talk about his new improvements to the Virtual Writing Tutor that I absolutely love using myself. So, Nick, tell us some of the things that you're working on for the Virtual Writing Tutor.
Well, Frank, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. As you know, I'm always working on new features with the Virtual Writing Tutor. And one of the things that I've used in the past is the paraphrase checker to get students to read a text and paraphrase it and then, submit it as a blog post that I can evaluate as a reading and writing assignment. But I wasn't entirely happy with it, and so I've been working on an alternative to that activity, and I'd love to show you if you're ready.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen and show you what I can see. Okay, so this is the Virtual Writing Tutor, but before I get to that, I want to show you the objectives to my 102B course, and this is a course that I frequently teach, 102B, and I'll show you the reading objectives, which are here. As you can see, it says, to demonstrate comprehension of the relevant elements of an authentic text related to the student's field of study. This can be quite difficult when you have many different fields of study, different programs in your class, represented by 24 students. You may only have 2 students from each of the programs. Nevertheless, we have to try, and I've been doing it through project work and blogging. These specific objectives require that students recognize the overall meaning, but also recognize the validity and reliability of any kind of reference sources. And by this, I interpret this to mean like source text that they use in their, let's say, writing or speaking. And then skimming for and use of elements in the text in their sources relevant to the performance of a specific task. So what this tells me is that for 102B, and it's very similar for 101B, we cannot give students a multiple choice listening or reading test to evaluate their comprehension. It's not enough. They have to use what they've read to perform a specific task. So with that in mind, I ask students to look at, I have something here for you. Wait a second. I'll just try to find it. There you go. I have them look at a number of different articles and select one which is related to their program or their chosen field of study. And so here I have over 200, call them day in the life articles that are related to various careers. And you can see them. You have actor, actuary, archaeologist. I have students in police technology at my college. So if you look for police here, you can see we have police officer or manager, right? So click on that, and you get this article. It's about 2,000 to 4,000 words, and it talks about present and future, 5 years out, 10 years out, that sort of thing. And I've been asking my students for years now to summarize one of these articles and use the paraphrase checker on the virtual writing tutor to ensure that they don't copy, paste, and plagiarize. Well, recently I had a brainwave and I thought that maybe I could get students to do something a little bit more interactive that'd be more fun to add to their blog. So I created a writing tool. It's here in the middle of the menu bar, at the top of the virtual writing tutor. Writing tools, you click on the drop-down menu and you can see at the bottom, Career Summary Creator. Now, if you click on it, you need to be logged in. When you click on it, you can create a new job title. So I have policeman, but I'm going to try something else. Let's say ESL or college ESL teacher, right? Yeah, spelled it right. You click new job and you get this form to fill out. You get a cute little robot and then the job title. Now you need a singular, right? Teacher, right? And a plural, teachers. That way, these words, when you save them, they add these words, singular and plural, to the questions below. So there's an introduction. Say why this article is useful to read and who should read it. Why are you motivated to write it? So this is one of the questions I asked them to answer. And then, what is it like to be a teacher? That's the singular form. What do teachers do? So the page immediately asks specific questions based on what you fill in the field at the top. What do teachers do on a typical day? Where do teachers work, etc.? What are the chances that teachers will be replaced by robots soon?
Never.
Well, I agree. I mean, teachers will use tools like any profession, but will never be replaced because of the coaching function that we provide and the ability to interpret meaning, which is something that machines can't do. In any case, there's room for conclusion, retirement, more by this author, and then sources. Sources. Now, you'll remember that I said that it's important that students are able to recognize the validity of the sources they use. Well, I've developed this thing called a radars rating, where the student has to assess the value or the validity and reliability of one of their reference sources by looking at the rationale. Is it to inform or educate or to sell products? The authority, is it satire, which is very different from, let's say, government research journal or peer-reviewed wiki, like Wikipedia. The date, is it from a long time ago? Because it's less valid if it's out of date. Or recently, and they can actually put in a date. And then accuracy, relevance, and then sources, whether the source that you're citing actually cites sources of its own. That's very important. And there's room for two.
This is so cool, Nick, especially in this age of misinformation, disinformation, of conspiracy theories. This is so cool to get the students to think about these topics: rationale, authority, date, accuracy, relevance, sources. It's amazing, this particular radars rating.
I think it's helpful because, what is it? Einstein said education is everything you forgot in school, or everything that you can still do, but the details of which you forgot from school. And I think that's it, right? We have to give students practice thinking about the things we want them to think about, even if they forget all the details. So this is the form to fill out. Now I'll show you an example of one that I've already created. It's the career of a police officer. And here you can see it, put the job title in, a police officer, police officers. It doesn't matter whether it's capitalized or minuscule. If there are errors in the capitalization, it doesn't matter. The system picks that up and fixes it. And then what you see are the answers that I've put. What is it like to be a police officer? It's very challenging and difficult. Now watch what happens. Now, I'm going to just click on the microphone here and ask one of the questions, these frequently asked questions, and the system will take the text that I wrote and then run it through a text-to-speech voice synthesis engine to make this an interactive conversation. So what was the question? What do police officers do? What is it like to be a police officer? Can I start with that? What is it like to be a police officer?
It is very challenging and difficult.
So hopefully you can hear that. The robot answers the question with the text that I put in. Here, what do police officers do? I'll just show you. It's a simple editor. Police officers keep the peace. They also have to apprehend criminals and charge them with crimes. They doesn't have an easy job. So I'll just put a few errors there. You'll notice that, of course, it uses the Virtual Writing Tutor's grammar checker. It should, catch these errors. You have a problem with your verb agreement. The pronoun they must be used with a non-third person form of the verb. They don't. Use an instead of a, following words that start with vowel sound and article and noun. Right? So I can fix those or save them.
Let me just add, Nick, that this here beats antidote, I must say, in English.
I'm not trying to beat anybody. I'm trying to provide a useful service to students and teachers. But if people find it helpful, that makes me very happy.
Well said. Well said.
Many years of work, right? And I keep trying to improve it. And I recognize that it still has a long way to go. All right. So when you click on publish, right, just takes a couple of seconds, and then it sends the published text to a new tab, right, which is here. And again, you see the robot, and again, you can ask the questions. The questions and the answers are all listed below. You can put in links to other articles you've written, and there is the sources and radars ratings section where you have the link and then the different items that you selected: rationale to inform or educate, recognize author, recently published. So the idea is that students go off onto the internet and they find some articles and summarize them in order to do this specific task. Now I should show you that on mobile, the robot disappears. But when you have a wider screen, you have the robot. And the reason for this is that we're unable to get the speech recognition to work with the microphone here on Android's version of Chrome. So we just decided to leave the robot out on the mobile version. So this works on desktop. And again, you can ask questions. What's it like?
So Nick, is this a demo? Is this actually work now? Are you looking to make improvements? Can teachers make suggestions?
Yeah, it works. It works. I may add a few more features. We'll see what kind of feedback I get from teachers. I don't know if I've told you this before, Frank, but I really see the virtual writing tutor as being a collaborative effort. I really want to respond to what teachers and students want to see, and so if people have ideas for features or for improvements, I'm really eager to hear them so I can improve the system for them.
And where can they contact you, Nick?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing, there are a bunch of ways to contact me, but look, on the virtual writing tutor, there is a contact link, and there's a contact form, and this comes straight to my inbox on my phone or on my laptop, and I usually respond, well, as soon as I can, as soon as my children let me.
Sounds great. So that's really amazing. I mean, I'm excited. I've used the 102B book, what is it, Teaching Online.
Yeah, it's called Actively Engaged Online.
Actively Engaged Online. I've used that book, and I think this is a great new tool. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, super, great. I'm looking forward to trying it next semester with my students. I haven't actually tried it yet. It's brand new. So this is a bit of a sneak preview.
Excellent.
And we'll see how well students enjoy it. And thank you so much, Frank, for taking the time to...
My pleasure, Nick. It's always great talking to you. Have a great day. Bye now.
Bye, Frank.
So...
I hope you enjoyed that the conversation with Nick Walker and his amazing tool. What I particularly liked about it was the radar's rating, which has to do with rating sources of information, particularly in this day and age of misinformation and disinformation and false information. That's really a great tool. So as Nick said, if there's feedback that you'd like to give him, you can contact him, or you can contact me, Frank, at frankbunkowski.com. So if there's anyone else who would like to share their thoughts on teaching at the college level, please contact me. Have a great day. See you again. Bye.